Yeah, so literally 25% of our team gave up. The way we worked was simply too much for him. So one of our team members got on the train and left.
What was the reaction of the Volvo team?
They found it interesting enough to actually invest some resources into.
Welcome guys to the first new podcast where we ask the winners of our hackathons or challenges about their journeys and their solutions and why they won. And so we have Mateusz here and Maciej, both very successful on the last hackathon. Mateusz won the Volvo challenge with his team and Maciej won the Agile challenge. So could you introduce yourselves?
Hi, so I'm Maciej, I'm 19. I'm currently still a high school student. I'm in the last year of my high school studies. And yeah, so I'm here because me and my team won the Agile challenge at the NUV hackathon in Košice. And so our solution was basically a revolutionary system that uses new technologies to help with patient navigation within hospitals. And this system at scale could revolutionize the hospital landscape, not just in Slovakia, but globally.
What about you, Mateusz?
My name is Mateusz. Currently, right now, I'm studying at Faculty of Informatic and Informational Technology here in Bratislava. I'm working in IT for past 2.5 years. Currently, right now, I'm working as a Java backend developer in Spring Framework. And yeah, I'm here because I was on this hackathon that you guys organized, this Volvo challenge, and we managed to win it with the other parts of the team.
So can you explain it further to us? What was the challenge about?
With the Agile challenge, it was just basically a task to solve a problem that many hospital visitors face, which is that they sometimes can feel overwhelmed when entering a hospital, especially a larger one. And since Agile operates several larger hospitals in Slovakia, they are aware of this problem. And so basically we had to come up with a way to provide efficient and easy to use navigation for patients and visitors and even hospital staff that would help optimize the process of going to the hospital. And it would basically, because ideally you want to cut the time that a person has to wait at the reception desk, and then they have to get someone to help them navigate. And so there's a lot of inefficiencies that can be solved by providing a more sort of clear navigation system. So that was a challenge.
And what were the key steps in the development part? So how did you start? Because I can expect it was overwhelming.
We chose this challenge because we were pretty aware that there are some other strong competitors that would be doing the Volvo challenge. We basically just did a quick visual survey of what everyone is working on.
So you did the same that Mateusz did, but chose a different challenge.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
They actually figured out that we were the strongest team and they stood no chance against us.
Well, I mean,
they picked Agile,
Yeah, I mean, we were familiar with some of the people on their team, so and we knew that they had a very strong chance. Yeah. So we were let's go do this one because we have a very strong fighting chance here. And so that was sort of the first step. And then the topic itself was pretty broad. So we sort of had to spend a little bit of time just basically grounding ourselves and just writing it all out, being organized. That was the one of the keys actually, to write everything down on a shared doc and to keep it organized throughout the entire hackathon. And that helped us out a lot. We sort of just broke down the issue. What is currently being implemented, what we see as potential areas of innovation that we can implement, and then basically that was the process that we used to decide on one solution that we would then throughout the hackathon that we would expand on and work on.
And so what was the winning solution you submitted with these random guys that you met?
So actually the winning solution was one that we were aware of that exists on actually at airports, and we sort of took this technology that is already implemented at a very basic level, and we sort of expanded on it and to use it in a hospital setting. And so basically the solution involved using facial recognition to identify people and to link them with their destination without the need for physical touch, because that's one of the things that we wanted to avoid, is using physical devices that the hospital would have to like disinfect and take care of, and they would get stolen or broken. So this actually ended up working out really well because it made the system seamless to interact with, and it also made it easier to keep it operational.
That's amazing. And what did the chief or leadership team of Agel thought about it?
Well, they liked it. They found that because many of the other teams were basically doing the same thing, where their solutions were basically the same thing with just a little twist, because some of them would use like a phone app, and the other team would do the exact same thing, but instead of phone app it would be a physical piece of hardware. But so ours was unique in the way that the users would interact with it, and also in the way that it could be used for the hospital as well. And so they initially liked it, and then we went over the more technical details with them to see how we could actually expand on it, because you have to realize that the hackathon is not really that long of a time to come up with an incredibly complex thing. So we just sort of touched on certain points that could be explored further once we go ahead with the project.
I remember talking to the leadership team; they were super impressed. But like to better understand the solution, so I just come into a hospital and then there's like this camera and it tells me where to go, right?
Yeah. So basically, the first time you have to identify yourself with the card that you already have that has your health records on it.
Like insurance card.
Yes.
Yeah.
That you would already use. So it's nothing. The hospital doesn't have to give you another card. You don't have to request anything. You already have this, and so this is just to identify yourself with the system. And so that's the only point of interaction that you have. And then once you come in any other time, you just look at the screen and follow directions that are personalized for you. And so you just look up and the system tells you where to go completely seamlessly.
That's amazing. What was your solution about?
We came up with a solution how to transform like these vehicles which were already manufactured in factory to a parking lot. So normally it works like that you have like, let's say 4 people whose job is only to transfer like these vehicles to parking lot and back and all the way all around. And we developed the solutions when like these cars, when they are manufactured, that they use this autonomous system which will actually drive them.
And so like, is it integrated in the car or?
Yeah, so the system is integrated. So it's like completely autonomous.
So like the LiDAR that you have when you don't know how to park and.
Yeah. All those sensors, cameras and everything that works.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
Why did Volvo seek, to get you guys to think of the solutions? Like, cannot they do something like that on their own?
I think that they were just trying to find the ways how to do it, and maybe sometimes like these hackathons can be really, really cool for them, because when you're like corporate guy, you always have the same ideas because you're in the same space, and sometimes like young people
like the same routine all over again.
And young people can come up with really cool solutions.
What was the reaction of the Volvo team? Were they surprised that you created something in 24 hours or?
Yeah, they were actually surprised, and yeah, they figure out that maybe this is something that they can actually integrate it. I'm not sure if they will do it because it takes a lot of procedures to it, but yeah, we hope so.
And what did you win?
We won 2 things. First one was like this trip to Sweden, and then the second one was like classic price
so
money.
Cash prize,
So
right?
cash, yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Who does not like cash? Let's say it like this.
Was it the same with you, Maciej?
Yeah, we only got a cash prize
Okay.
from we didn't get a trip to a hospital. Although I'm sure if we, I'm sure if we ask it nicely, or on the other hand, if we ask it very rudely, we would get one. But yeah, the official prize was a cash prize.
And did you receive any feedback from them, or like, how did they react to the elements of it?
After the fact, we actually had several meetings with like management and like relevant people from the Agel group here in Slovakia, and we discussed how we could expand on the solution further, and even how we would start integrating it into a hospital.
So like they want to hire you after the hackathon.
Yeah, so they did actually follow through with our proposed solution because they found it interesting enough and persuasive enough to actually invest some resources into.
Was it the same with you, Mateusz?
Not really. I feel a bit ashamed, but yeah. I don't think that there was actually the option for us to do something like this because like there were two different situations. Like Agile had other plans than Volvo, and yeah, so we had this trip, we had those money, and
how do you think your solution could potentially, have an impact on the whole automotive industry?
it should make the whole process like faster. So it should be like more easy to get those vehicles from the factory to the parking lot.
Yeah, and delivered to the people.
And also it should save some time and some money for the payment of the classic,
Employees.
yeah.
And do you think there is a way that, your solution, Maciej, would had like a strong impact on the whole hospital or med tech industry?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this landscape of hospitals is constantly evolving, and technology needs to follow along with that. And so I think that any change that can be done that would help even one hospital could revolutionize the whole sort of way we approach these things. And so I would look at it as if we can help like only a few people to get to an appointment faster, or if we could help a few doctors to help other patients more efficiently, I think it's definitely worth it.
That's a very nice idea. And so last question for you, Mateusz. How do you think people can get involved in hackathons and challenges? And why should they do so?
It's easy, just participate. Like all the time it comes down to execution. So those hackathons are here, even in Slovakia. And yeah, you have the options. You have the resources, I think. It doesn't cost you any money. You just have to get to this place and make this solution.
And win the money,
and
right?
win the money, yeah. And it's really nice money for someone who is actually like studying on university.
Maciej, why would someone ever go to a hackathon?
Well, for me, I'm not as experienced as Mateusz here when it comes to hackathons, and this was actually the first one I participated in. And so I was actually quite nervous, and I was contemplating not even going there beforehand, but I'm really glad I did, because it turned out to be an incredible experience, and the whole process from meeting new people to just being in the space with like-minded people just working on something and then presenting it to the broader groups of people, even the judges, even the rest of the people at the hackathon. It was just very rewarding. So that's why I would encourage everyone to at least try it. And as Mateusz said, it doesn't cost anything. You just have to be there. You don't even have to have a team. And you can, even without a team, you can still be very successful when it comes to solving the challenge. So you just have to have the drive and the mentality that you want to try it. So I would encourage everyone to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. And what did you find the most interesting, funny, or silly goofy about the hackathon?
One sort of issue we ran into was a human resources issue that we actually had because we started off as a team of 4 strangers. And by the end, there were only 3 of us left, because a couple of hours in, one of our teammates simply couldn't handle the pressure we were operating under, because we were very pedant on the way we did the things and on the way we organized us, and so the way we worked was simply too much for him. And so one of our team members just sort of got on the train and left.
Gave up, right?
Yeah, we took him, like, we went to like get a breath of fresh air outside, and so he just told us outside the venue that he just simply cannot do it. And so we were like, okay, but you would help us a lot, because other teams had more people. We ended up being just 3 people.
Yeah, there were actually 5.
It was 25% of your team.
Yeah, so literally 25% of our team gave up. And so, but we worked through it. We didn't want to force anyone to work under circumstances that they didn't find enjoyable, or we just didn't want to force this person to keep working if they didn't want to. So ultimately, we provided all the support we could have, but they couldn't handle the pressure. So that's a small issue that we ran into. But in the end, it didn't stop us because we kept pushing forward.
Thank you for empowering other people and again taking the time to do so.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot.